All right, we are going to go ahead and get going. So we are going to do things a little bit different today, as we mentioned last week. Today is not going to be quite as much of an AMA as it is kind of just some chatting from us. However, so we do have a pretty hard cap of 30 minutes today. We have some meetings that could not be rescheduled and need to be had. So we're going to keep this one a little bit shorter, and then um, primarily we're going to kind of talk about some milestones that we hit this year, things that particularly stick out for us, and hopefully share some stories that y'all haven't heard yet. However, during all of that, we also wanted to invite all of you to hop into the AMA voiceless chat or the YouTube chat, and just talk about the kind of the same thing. So if there's anything in particular from this year that really sticks out to you, something that, meant a lot or something that just really hangs in your memory, feel free to share that. And we'll probably be pulling some out of the chat as well to talk about them live also. So with that, we're going to start off with Frisky Fox for his memorable milestone. There we go. That's a good name.
Thank you. Thanks, Bolin. Yeah, so this is kind of a different experience what we've done before with our AMAs, and it's more like a fireside type of informal chat. So I'm also excited to see what all of you guys are saying in the chat about things you guys remember. For me, there's so much, and I don't want to steal a bunch that other people are probably going to talk about. We had sort of a pre-meeting to kind of create a little bit of a game plan, but I really enjoyed creating duels, like the whole duels system. It was very revolutionary when it comes to things people have never tried before on a blockchain, like matchmaking and just all that sort of like stuff that went into all of those things there. It's been very challenging and very interesting and a fun experiment. And I think a lot of people have enjoyed it as well. And then having those get paired with like raffles and things to sort of like drive the user engagement and the ability to climb the ranks and ladders and things there. It just turned out really well. And I think every season we've had hundreds of thousands of duels, and it's been a huge hit. So it was really satisfying, really gratifying to work on that, to build it. Fun fact, I don't think a lot of people know this, but this actually started out as the brainchild of Dreamer. He was, trying to figure out what can we do while we're sort of like creating PvP. Like we need to have more things that we can do with heroes that are fun to do, and have like reasons for players to want to level up and improve their heroes while we're actively creating and building the really fun experience that will be PvP, obviously with the help of like Wisdom Gaming in a huge way. And everyone's really stoked about that, and I am as well. But this really started out as his idea. And of course, all of us kind of like added our own ideas to it, kind of like fleshed it out. And we had a lot of people involved with creating it, with like the sounds and the system and the animations and things. And it was really interesting. Actually, we created a special task force internally for that. And it was our sort of like our first time experimenting with that as well. So sharing a little bit of a fun anecdote there for that. And I think that's pretty much the main thing. Another fun fact is I'm actually creating a analytics engine for it that will sort of like analyze the duels and try to find patterns and things and see if we need to make tweaks to the matching, and trying to actually be able to measure the effect of some of the things that we change in the matchmaking engine to see what the spread is for like the score and for the hero power, and sort of try to like zero in on like the perfect part for that. So I'm really excited about that. I've been spending some of my less scheduled time that we've had over the break here. A lot of people have had extra time to just kind of do some of the stuff that has been on the back burner that they've been wanting to do for a while. So that's what I've been spending my time on. And I guess, Bolin, I'll hand it back over to you to go to the next person.
Appreciated. There's a comment in voiceless chat I wanted to point out real quick. It's actually from Beetle Dude. It just says, "Fun fact, we nerds," but that really resonates.
True that. True that.
Sorry, Fox. I include myself in that.
So, for our next memorable moment, we are going to Dreamer.
Yeah, so many memorable moments. But I'm gonna focus on a series of moments. Sorry, I'm like coughing before I unmuted. A series of moments that sticks out the most because they resulted in many sleepless nights and maybe some emotions as well. But I would say, the theme for me is really crisis management. The year really tested the team, tested our ability to identify good solutions to problems we never really thought we'd run into. Um, Tested our ability to work with each other, not only when everything is great and things are going up and people are happy, but when we have difference of opinions and we don't know what's happening and we're trying to figure it out and the world is kind of, you know, um, crumbling beneath us. I feel like we have learned a ton of resilience, and our crisis management skills have really, as a group, strengthened significantly. There's a quote that people say, when you're managing a crisis, be quick with the facts and slow with the blame. And I feel like whenever something has gone awry, my main thing I'm recounting is the Harmony Bridge incident that affected many people in the audience here, the project itself, and our overall trajectory and prioritization. When that was happening, among everything that happened in the previous months, we were all doing our best to identify solutions to the problems we had and weren't quite there yet. And then we got hit with this new one. And, I remember many late nights, the initial night, with some that are no longer on the team. Shout out to Mr. Fawn, who did so much for the project and so much by way of crisis management. But Magnus was right there with those late nights. I think Bolon never sleeps anyway, but having eyes and ears on what's going on throughout all wee hours of the night, are like search for the facts and our brainstorming of solutions is one that I'm really grateful for and proud of. It really led us to identify other partnership opportunities rather than just being down and out. Some of these partnership opportunities have come to fruition with Clayton. I won't go too far into that because I might come up with some other memories. But the being in New York City for NFT NYC, having this happen, and then before leaving, establishing that connection at the time with David Shin as a potential option within, I think it was the next day. I was out there talking to everybody all day and we started going in that direction. We had a couple others as well. I just wanted to recount that because we are ending the year in a very strong position, very stable, and I won't keep go over that too much because I think we've covered that in recent weeks. But it all started with a lot of uncertainty in the markets, people going above and beyond for the project, for the stability, for the long-term growth and trajectory, and new characters, entering the story of DeFi Kingdoms and contributing to its stability and growth. It just makes me feel confident that in the future, as we have unexpected ups, we'll perform, and as we have unexpected downs or things hit, we now have some really good reps in to hopefully encourage confidence that we will do everything we can to be quick with the facts, slow with the blame, and get to those good solutions. So to me, it's become a good memory for 2022. We really liked a lot of things about Harmony. We were working with them on some things they were improving on. When this happened, it threw a huge wrench in everything. But our duty to the community and the project required some action. We took it, and we hopefully are all better off as a result. And that's my recounting of our resilience and ability to find good solutions in the year.
Much appreciated. And I just wanted to re-highlight something you said because I think we have mentioned it before, but it's worth always being mentioned, is that you were literally at NFT NYC when the bridge incident happened. So you were in front of people, talking to people about DFK when all of that kind of started. And that just adds a whole nother level of stress to it all, because you're standing there face to face with people.
That was a
And
crazy time. I was actually in the rain, like pouring down rain on the road, and I got a message. I had to pull over to the gas station. Like, what the heck is going on? That was crazy times.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
like the crazy, like
good.
a really crazy piece was I mean I saw a lot of their team that day, and I don't know when they knew when they. I don't. I'm pretty sure things before all of us knew that were happening and other people knew, but it was interesting to recount, to be like, wait a minute, I was interacting with you guys like an hour ago. But who knows who knew what and when. But yeah, it was interesting because we were already there on the back of everything else that happened with the market and Celsius and Anchor and Terra, and people were already really just nervous and in a bad place. And we were at that point considering a raise and having meetings with potential interested investors and everything, and having it was not fun, but it was a successful outcome. I think a positive outcome.
I think that's one we'll all remember, where we were for forever.
Made us stronger in the end.
Absolutely. Uh, Quick shout out, Mellow Green Giant mentioned his most memorable moment was winning the transaction history tool bounty in January. Still being used today. So big shout out to him. All right, let's go to Magnus.
Hey guys. So I wanted to highlight the big event this year that was setting up a new Avalanche subnet. As you all know, it's called DFK Chain. And so one of the things with any big technical deployment is getting internal processes in place that a lot of people don't think of, such as like who's on call for support, how to manage and secure the keys, who kind of sets up the upgrade processes and kind of runs point with Ava Labs when there's new upgrades and whatnot. There's also the aspect of learning the new subnet technology and keeping on top of those major and minor upgrades. And sometimes they can be fairly critical. So there's a lot that kind of goes into keeping those channels kind of monitored and making sure those are done in a timely manner. And also like whenever you kind of run a new blockchain from scratch, there's a lot of work that goes into vetting the various partners, such as Synapse for bridging, and then even basic things like multi-sig contracts, such blockchains don't come with that out of the box. I never really considered how much there is to set up when you kind of just start a chain from the Genesis block and go from there. There's also the whole aspect of tuning the performance of the chain, including how much gas the chain will use in a given amount of time, which in turn affects the gas fees and then the load on the validator hardware. And so there's a lot of kind of things to kind of tune and consider live. And I feel like I say this every other AMA, but I have to give a big thanks to Ava Labs, first off for creating the subnet technology, and secondly for being so great to work with as we kind of keep things running and they add really cool new features to the subnet. And I also can't mention starting up DFK Chain without mentioning Mr. Fawn, who initially ran point on getting the subnet set up before I kind of took over the reins with that. And so in summary, setting up a new blockchain, it's a pretty big undertaking, but it's been really rewarding this year. And it's been great for us as a project in terms of scalability and kind of taking that next step and building out the DFK ecosystem. Personally, as a blockchain developer, it's a really cool duality to both get to run and upgrade a blockchain, and on the other side of the coin, deploy and optimize contracts on that chain. So it's a really cool experience in general, just to be working with DFK Chain.
Thank you much, Magnus, and for all of your and many others hard work in not only setting that chain up, but keeping it running all of this time, which is a never-ending task. So very much appreciated. Oh crap, I don't get to call on somebody, it's me. So I'm going to try to keep this brief. As you all know, events are very, very near and dear to my heart for many reasons, and I could talk about them for the next several hours, just the ones that we've done. However, I'm going to primarily focus on Barcelona, which was Avalanche Summit, uh, as well as being the week prior to us launching DFK Chain in Crystal Vale. Um, it was, I mean, incredible for so many reasons, but one of the things I just really wanted to highlight was that was our like first real introduction to so much more of the Avalanche community and ecosystem. So obviously, you know, Avalanche themselves we've been talking to for a while. Some of the other projects on Avalanche we had already been talking to and gotten to know, but being able to be there and be at, you know, their annual summit full of their ecosystem, it was a very unique opportunity to get to know people in person that we otherwise never would have met. So it definitely helped to give us some insight and give us some partnerships and friendships and consultations that we otherwise would not have gotten. And then when we got back, we were able to launch DFK Chain in Crystal Vale. And it's just such a momentous occasion. And to be able to time it, the fact that the timing worked out, I should say, to where we could have the summit and DFK Chain launch kind of back to back was just absolutely perfect. It was really just things aligning for us in our favor. Um, but a couple of things that y'all may not know. Uh, so Barcelona was incredible, but it was a lot of stress and work making sure that everybody got there and was safe. And that's really, you know, kind of me and Rizen's thing. So put a lot of time into making sure that, you know, we were going to have a very large presence there, and we did. I think it might be our largest presence to date, although Austin probably competes with it pretty close. But making sure that everybody had travel arrangements, had their vaccinations because of COVID, and that everybody, you know, had a place to stay, had a way to get to where they were staying, and was generally just, you know, prepared and safe. So a couple specific stories. There was a day where Risen and I and Kangaroo and a couple others, well, there were a total of like 10 of us, walked about 2.5 hours through the city of Barcelona because there were too many of us to get an Uber or a taxi, so we would have needed a series of Ubers and taxis. And rather than doing that, we decided to just strike out. And so we actually walked to like 3 different hotels to drop off portions of the group. But it was just such an amazing bonding experience for so many of us, to the point that many of us got tattoos. So there were 8 of us that decided we're in Barcelona. You know, this is amazing. We need something to commemorate this. And so I found a tattoo shop on Google that had good reviews. It looked nice. It looked clean. They said they spoke English, which was beneficial. And so 8 of us showed up to this tattoo shop and said, you know, we want to get tattooed now. And they were absolutely incredible. They accommodated us. They got everybody tattooed. And so there are 8 of us that have bloater tattoos on our ankles because of that event, and it's something that I'll never forget. It was a really special uh, week. I guess I think it was a week, but it was a really special time, and it was just so impactful for the team internally as well as making DFK Chain launch that much more of a success. And now I'm going to turn it back over to me, and then I'm going to turn it to Beetle for his memorable moment.
Awesome. Thank you, Bowen. Well, I don't just have one memorable moment. I have lots of memorable moments. I think probably the thing that sticks out to me the most was I'll talk about some other things later. But the thing that stuck out to me the most, I think, is Crystal Vale launch, the night of, being up until 4 a.m. with Mr. Fawn and some others as well. I can hardly remember everyone who's there, but just getting that final push in, everyone going all in to meet the deadline. It was just kind of sticks out to me as kind of a testament to the passion and talent that we have on the team, have and had. So yeah, I think I'll always remember that. And then I think, most recently getting to go to Miami and meeting a bunch of folks from the community, just seeing just how passionate people are from the community, and the fact that we could get 20 plus people out to Miami to come kind of celebrate and spread the good word of DFK, was just really cool to see. But then I guess, like, on the build side of kind of what were some amazing launches that we had. For me, I think my favorite launch of the year was Pets. Just amazing output from the art team, from the Solidity team, from the front end team, just kind of getting a cohesive feature that was just very, very unique, and honestly one of my favorites. I remember after hatching all of the eggs that I had collected from questing over the previous year, I basically just went in and started buying up some eggs because I couldn't wait. And I did the Gaia's boon. I couldn't do anything else. I had to get it right away. So I don't know. Pets is a big one for me. I love pets. And then maybe on the other side of the coin, we have dark summoning, which is maybe the opposite side of that coin. You got your cute fluffy pets that are beautiful and come from eggs, and on the other side we've got the dark summoning, where you're essentially dropping your heroes into a ritualistic bath of goo and sacrificing them. And I hate to admit just how many of my poor heroes I've dark summoned after that feature went live. But it's addictive, and I think it's a great feature, and I love it. I love the art. I love the music, the sound. It's all just that whole zone is just amazing. It's my favorite zone. So anyway, that's. Oh, I see second best dad's comment. That is great. It's been a lot of fun writing some dialogue. And with second best dad, it's nice having someone to kind of bounce ideas off of and make something fun. Yeah, I don't know. There's just too many to pick from. It's all been amazing. I literally can hardly remember when I started, because it feels like it's been so long, and I've been working on this and loving every minute of it. It's just great. Just get to work with passionate people and build a fun project that I enjoy. And yeah, I think that's the main ones. I guess I could mention Crystal Vale Parody. That was a big item that we were kind of focused on for a long time, and basically just finish it right in the nick of time. And I mentioned Dark Summoning. That was the first kind of feature that came after Crystal Vale Parody. And I don't know, it's been an amazing ride. We have a great team. I think we've become stronger, more competent, more able to weather the storms over the last couple of months. So love this team, love the community, and happy to be moving into a new year with everybody. Back to you, Bolon.
Appreciate you, Beetle dude. Fox, I know you specifically may have to drop here in a few minutes, so I was just going to pause for a second if you wanted to add anything in case you have to run.
Yeah, I do have to drop because I have a meeting at 12:30, but I'll stay on until the end, and I'll just quietly leave a note in the chat as well before I do. So please continue.
Awesome, thanks. All right, let's go to Pieface.
Cool. Hey everybody. Okay, favorite events of 2022. I would love to highlight Token 2049 that we did in Singapore, and that was in October. And it started off by Clayton. They actually graciously invited us to their awesome booth at Token 2049, and it was at Marina Bay Sands, that really cool like tall building with like a boat on the very top basically. It's a very cool architectural endeavor. But I'm just so grateful for Clayton. They were just such great partners for reaching out and doing that, and they've been great partners from the start, and they continue to be. And yeah, but with the event, we put everything together in less than a month, shipping huge boxes of merch. I think there were like 30-40 pounds and like 15-20 kg, and so it was a lot to get that merch over there. But throughout the event, though, it was incredible meeting people who were in DFK, and they were already in DFK either from the very beginning um, or they aped in during while it was at the top. But it was just great to teach other people about DFK as well, and just in general, having been doing this for, I don't know, a year and a half now, it just makes me so happy to learn how DeFi Kingdoms is not only something that people enjoy, but it also inspires people on their own endeavors in the blockchain space. And whether that be art or the blockchain technology, how we're doing things, and infrastructure, and just however we can contribute towards progressing in this space together, it's such a huge win. And yes, also bloaters. Bloaters are my highlight. Bloater plushies. But yeah, that's me.
Gotta mention the bloater plushies. All right, Sunbear.
Hey, everybody. Okay, I mean, the events are amazing. We started in Miami over a year ago with Decentral, Denver, ETH Denver, Barcelona Avalanche Summit, West Palm Beach Permissionless, Boston Decentral and Consensus, New York SmartCon, Singapore Token 2049, again in Miami just recently. Just so many amazing moments. And some of my favorite ones are I got to attend a lot of these events and are the people on this team that I got to meet in person. I remember sitting with Tango in Denver on the side of an event and just learning what a kind man this person is. We talked about family, we talked about faith, we talked about life, and just got to know just the absolute kindness and genuine person he is. I remember the first time I saw Fox, he was wearing his glasses. We were in Denver. He comes right up to me, and without even saying a word or introducing or anything, he just gives me the biggest hug. And it's just like, I knew I was family from that point forward. Meeting Beetle this last time in Miami, and immediately noticing like, whoa, this guy's got a killer mustache. And and it didn't matter what question came at him from any person, the thoughtfulness that he would respond to, he'd really like sit and think and kind of look like Tom Selleck as he, considered really what someone was asking and gave it a thoughtful response. Meeting Risen and Bolon in multiple events. Risen is seriously just the biggest teddy bear. If you ever get to know him personally, just a genuine friend. And Bolon literally takes the shirt off of his back and gives it to me when I needed shirts in Singapore. Just a couple more I'll mention too. I haven't met Second Best Dad in person, but he has brought such a humor to our team. Just so much fun and creativity and playfulness. Meeting Cinnamon Bun, finally getting to meet Cinnamon Bun this last time in Miami, and the most creative, genuine, fun person on the team by far. Just a wonderful human being. And I just want to shout out quick to Pi and Fox too. I mean, if it wasn't for these two and their initial thoughts, innovation and desires to create this, and the talent that they have, that they brought to the rest of this team, we wouldn't even be sitting here right now. And one of my favorite moments that I'll end on, Barcelona, Dreamer and Fox up there, and Dreamer says, "Hey, we are here to take over. Let's do it together. Join us. Let's," and everybody just erupting in cheers as we were in that space. So love these people, love this team, love this project.
Thank you, Sun Bear. I do want to throw out one last thing, and then we'll go to an update from Pi, or a reminder from Pi, and then we'll call this a day. Only be a couple minutes over, which is good for us. But one quick thing, and it was mentioned in AMA voiceless chat as well, but not to bring down the mood and end on a somber note. However, just a shout out to Working and always thinking about him and the impacts that he had on this community, and something to keep in mind. All right, so Pie Face, I know you had a reminder plan for us.
Oh, yes. I'd also like to verbally say RIP Working. I met him in Barcelona, and he was just so sweet and so great. But yes, my reminder is on the merch Gen Zero event. Just a reminder that December 31st, before midnight Eastern Standard Time, that's the last day to submit a qualifying order. And just a quick tidbit, if you have done an order already and then you want to do another order and it's more than 50 USD, that can count as another entry, by the way. But on top of that, then in January 15th of 2023, that's the last day to submit your order number and social post to that Google form. And this hopefully gives you guys enough time for the orders to arrive for you to make that social post as part of your submission. But yeah, that's my reminder. Thanks.
Thank you, perfect. All right. Well, we are in good shape to wrap up. I'll give it just a second in case anybody has any last minute comments. Otherwise, we are going to close out for the day. All right, then we are closing out. As always, thank you to everybody up here for taking the time out to do this, especially this week between holidays. And thank you, everybody in the audience, for taking the time out of your day to come and listen to us. We hope that y'all enjoyed this. Next week, we'll be doing a traditional AMA, but we really hope that you enjoyed this kind of insight and a little bit of backstory. And with that,
And then,
oh, go ahead, Dreamer.
can I just add one thing? Sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think we weren't sure how long this was going to go. And we did want to talk about some things that we're going to be focusing on next year that we're excited about. Fox left a little note that I think maybe got people curious. It's probably going to be a great thing to do for a New Year AMA, where we could come and talk about some things we're excited about, and also really curious to hear from the community and what you are excited about. But as Bolon was talking, and I was just like recounting the year and hearing everybody's comments, 2021 was the year of like, let's gamify NFTs, let's gamify DEX, kind of see where it goes. I think it was mentioned by Bolon in the pre-meet, mining was released this year. Like we've talked about some big things, but there are like, it's in the last year, a ton of stuff has come out and we've progressed a ton. 2022 has really been a year of establishing the foundation for what's to come. And, as we're writing down New Year's resolutions and goals and meeting as departments and groups, and meeting with, Wisdom and other partners like Ava Labs and Clayton, we have really, really big hopes. We have big dreams for next year. And I think it's time that we come out with, deep game content. And that's definitely in focus. You saw from some of Fox's comments, we can't do a lot of what we wanted to do without, being on multiple strong chains, on having the foundation of, heroes and questing and pets and the following. They're ready for more, and it's coming. I hope that people are excited for the roadmap of what's to come in 2023. I hope people understand, all that we've done this year to set us up for what's next. And I hope that the world is ready for, DeFi Kingdoms to evolve into a deeper game-like experience where we will still have people focused on play to earn. We'll still have people focused on DeFi. We'll still be focusing on partnerships. But I personally, at this meeting at the end of next year, am excited to report on, the game features that we've built, the place that we've, maybe, and all of the fun things that we didn't see coming, that we've had to pivot and jump through. So, well, I didn't mean to cut you off at all, but did want to just share that focus of, this year that we've recapped, but what's to come in Q1, Q2, and beyond. Back over to you, because I think you were going to bring us to a bullish moment.
No, that was perfect. And yeah, a very good call out on next week, talking about some of the very exciting stuff coming up where I'm very excited, and I know that everybody on the team is, so that'll be really cool. And actually, yeah, I just realized that somehow it ended up on me to bring us to a bullish moment. So then I was hoping you were taking it, but I guess not. So with that, we'll just sign off and say bullish.
Bullish. And Happy New Year.
Bullish.
Oh, bullish.
Happy New Year.